Hello, my name is Jani Vaalima, and I am the head of sales and marketing at Finest Future. And I would love to welcome one and all to our little webinar about traveling and exploring Finland. Because Finland is a country, and there are lots of cool and fantastic things also besides studying in Finland. So that is absolutely important, that your world is not limited when you are eventually coming to Finland. Hopefully, it's not limited to your hometown that you live in Finland. So I will go on and introduce also Lucy. So maybe you can give a little hello to the webinar.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to this webinar. My name is Lucy, and I am the guest speaker from Finest Future High School student, and I went to Finland in the year 2022.
Thank you. And also with us, we have team from Finest Future, Amy.
Hello everyone, I'm Hailey. I along with Tanvi will be the supporter behind the scene, and I'm now working in Finest Future with the title of student recruitment. So if there are any questions about like our program, about Finland, you can always put them in the chat box and I will support you right away.
Thank you, Amy. And then of course, Tammy.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. Hope you will enjoy this webinar. If you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment on the chat box or waiting for the Q&A section. We will help you to answer all of them.
Thank you. And here is the timeline. I try to be quick because usually the Q&A, which is like questions and answer in the end, that is something that we want you to prepare for throughout the webinar. Of course, you can ask questions and we will answer them when we notice them in the chat or however you want to ask them. But the Q&A session after the webinar is a perfect place to ask about our programs, what's Finland like, and talk a bit with Lucy, for instance, to get a real understanding what is actually studying Finland all about. So Finest Future, undoubtedly you might have heard about us because you are here. Thank you at the webinar, and many viewers will watch this as a recording afterwards, and welcome to also those viewers. Hopefully there are many of them. So Finest Future was founded by enthusiastic people who want to make stuff happen. And one of those things is enabling everyone in the world to have the education, the future that they all dream about. And this starts, the dream usually starts with getting the education that they are absolutely adamant or dreaming about, so that it will become a reality. And that is where Finest Future comes into the equation. And what we do, we teach the Finnish language. And the reason why we teach the Finnish language not only is one of the coolest languages in the world, it's also important and critical if you consider getting one of the world's greatest education from Finland. Because if you do it in the Finnish language, you can do it tuition free. And I will repeat it because it's a pretty cool thing to say again. Tuition free. If you're studying the Finnish language or the Swedish language, Swedish is also one of our official languages, you can enter our high school, vocational school, and study up to through university tuition free. So best education in the world, tuition free. Why Finland? How to start to tell about how the education in Finland is free is a big question, and we don't have time for it. But Finland and education and the country really is based on safety, equality, and all these things that are leveling the playing field for people so that anyone can become anything. You can be a mechanic, you can be a doctor, you can be a scientist, you can be absolutely anything you want, because our education system supports your dreams. And if you look at our previous webinars where we have had, of course, our Finnish Future students also visiting the webinars, they are telling that how the school is different and how study is completely different in Finland, and teachers have time for you and they help you forward. And this is actually one of our proud traditions, our education system, which is one of the best and most acknowledged in the world, because it supports to individuals, but also the freedom for the individual to choose the path that they want to study in. And of course, there are other things to consider when thinking about your education, and Finland especially, the freedom. And the freedom is something that, because we are a democracy, we are extremely free country. And this is also one of the backbones of our nation, that individual freedom and living together and, you know, having a best environment to become whatever you want in Finland. And safety also. Finland is one of the most safest countries in the world, which traditionally means that the crime rate is low and there is like extremely low level of corruption in the government. So we are very safe for young and old and anyone in the between. And if you think about education, freedom, safety, and cleanliness, you can take any kind of these topics like equality and the happiest nation and put them to any kind of search engine that you use and Google it. And you will get unbiased opinions, not opinions, unbiased studies and reports that these are actually true things. And the last but not least issue here is that Finland is, of course, happiest nation in the world, 6th time in a row, which means that Finns are pretty happy with life, and anyone coming here can join in the happiness. Traveling in Finland. We have gone quite quickly into the topic, and I do hope that you have questions about how to get started with Finnish Future in the Q&A. We also have the prices of our programs in the end. So let's go over those two due time. Traveling in Finland. Finland is traditionally a smallish, not tiny country, but a small country. We are roughly like 1,300 kilometers long, like from the south to the north, and much of Finland is covered in forests. And what's between the forests are hundreds of thousands of lakes and cities and places like national parks, which are of course part of our lovely country's nature. But beautiful places in Finland also depend on being able to get there. And this is kind of like the topic what we are discussing here today, is that Finland usually has a lot to offer, no matter where you look at. If you live in the north, you can visit Rovaniemi, which is, of course, the Lapland region. It's the home of the Santa Claus. Everyone in the world knows this fact. And Rovaniemi is perhaps our northern capital in a sense, because it's one of our biggest cities in the north and easy to fly, you know, with airplanes or drive by cars, and buses go there and trains go there. And Finland is very specific and exact with the public transportation, which means that the timetables are more or less like very specific and on time, and you can visit national parks with like public transportation, or you can go to bigger cities like Rovaniemi or our capital, which is Helsinki. But every place is reachable by public transportation, because when our students come here, they most likely do not yet have access to their own vehicle, like car or motorbike or whatever. Usually bikes are more than enough. They're also ecological and easy and cheap. And to enjoy our great network of roads in Finland, it's absolutely easy to explore Finland, no matter if it's winter, autumn, spring, or summer, which also happens in Finland. We're not just about winter. Yeah, how easy it is to explore Finland? Pretty easy. So we have an excellent train network which goes through our entire country. And when you are a student in Finland, this is important. Students have special pricing for our public transportation. So while it's not completely cheap, it is practically absolutely affordable for students. So that you have to understand, that when you are entering Finland after hopefully our after our excellent language program, then you can apply to schools and then get a student status, and then you will get access to amazing discounts in Finland, not just like public transportation. We have other services in Finland which have special pricing for students. And for instance, other special groups might be elderly, like retired citizens. So we take care of everyone in Finland. So high-speed and regional trains. So basically you can travel across whole of Finland in something like 10 hours. But if you think about moving in between some central regions, it's usually like 1 hour to 2 hours. So it's pretty fast, but that's basically because our trains are so good. And also, like, Finland is not a massively huge country. We are, in a world scale, small. There are around 5.5 million Finns, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Most of our country is covered by forests, so there's lots of room for everyone who wants to come to Finland and get the best education. Buses go everywhere in Finland, and this is also what you have to understand about Finns, is that we also have like private and personal traffic. And unlike many countries where our students come from, there might not be like support for or situation that personal vehicles are in the majority. But because Finland is so kind of like sparsely centralized regarding the cities, so which means that our people also want to travel faster to anywhere. So when you get a education, when you find a job, then you can of course get your new shiny vehicle. If it's like electric vehicle, that's all fine. We have loading stations, so everything is absolutely reachable everywhere. And yeah, the accessibility also is something that needs to be mentioned, because our trains are hygienic, which means that if you have allergies or if you are perhaps disabled and need special access to our like public transport, that is something that is clearly mentioned in any kind of timetables and whatever train or bus or something that you are looking into. So we take our traveling extremely seriously, but not too seriously. But Finland was kind of built on bus transportation. But if you think about our main railroads from our capital Helsinki to the city of Tampere, where I live, and even northern, we have of course many other train routes, but buses are everywhere in Finland, and you can pretty much get around quite easily. Checking the timetable, pretty good, not too much behind. So rather than me telling about what Finland is like, I think it's beneficial if we allow our fantastic guest speaker, Lucy, to actually tell her from her perspective and easily talk what it is actually in Finland through the eyes of someone coming here to study, to get the best education in the world. So maybe Lucy, you can start to tell your experiences in Finland. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your part, Jenny. Hello, everyone. My name is Lucy. Yes, I was born in Hanoi, Vietnam. So I'm Vietnamese. Right now, this year, I'm 15 years old. And in Vietnam, I study at Delta Global School, which is a international school of Dewey School. And currently, I'm studying second year in Janakala High School, Finland. So I am spending my second year in Finland right now. Yes. So first, let's go on to how easy is it to explore Finland. Firstly, I can tell when I first going to Finland is the government promotes opportunities to play sports in the forest. While I'm a student, so in school, like in liikunta, which is a sport tunti, a sport lesson in our school, we can easily go to the forest. Usually, the teacher will let us in the forest and play frisbee. It's a very famous sport in Finland or in America. And government, they put free equipment of frisbee sports in the forest everywhere you go. I bet that every forest you go, we have a frisbee golf that the government put. Yes, Jenny agree with me, right? Yeah, that the government puts. So they promote like travelers and students to play frisbee.
Yeah.
Yes.
And quickly here, you cannot underestimate how popular and fun the frisbee golf activity is in here in Finland. If you don't know what frisbee golf is, go to Google, YouTube, check some videos. It's absolutely fun. Everyone can do it. It's easy to start, but hard to master, like all the good things in life. So yeah, little information there. I love frisbee golf too.
Oh my God,
Please,
same.
Lucy.
Yes. I love frisbee golf too. Finland actually introduced me the sport. And yeah, throughout when you're playing frisbee golf, like running around the forest, you can easily explore Finland forest, like Finnish forest, the view, the environment, the animals. Actually, you hardly gonna see or meet like bears or anything. It's just the rumors around. But yeah, the weather and the environment of the forest is so good. The internet said the truth that Finnish forest is the best. And next is sauna everywhere. Yes, Johnny.
No, I was just agreeing. I love the Finnish forest, and the internet also works in the forest, so you don't get lost. In Finland, like internet is everywhere. So when you are somewhere, you want to go, you want to know where to go, just check your phone.
Yes, I agree. And sauna everywhere. Yes. Um, there is a statistics that's like in Finland there are I think there's over like 15,000 saunas in Finland, and that's a huge number. Every steps you go, everywhere you go in Finland, you're gonna meet and
Yeah,
you're gonna meet sauna, yeah, and you should try sauna.
yeah, there are actually more than that. There are like millions of saunas in Finland. So it's basically in our culture. And you don't know how relaxing it is if you until you go to sauna and then you jump into the snow, because the contrast of going from hot to cold and then coming back, that's the most relaxing place a human being can be in. So definitely try sauna. You don't have to have like million degrees immediately, just try to little by little go what do you like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Sauna is like in the blood of Finnish people. Yeah, the traditional, the culture is already in the bloods of Finnish people. So yeah, but instead of jumping right off the snow, you can jump in the järvi, which is the lake around it. Mostly in next to sauna, we're gonna have a lake, or maybe in the winter there are a mountain of snows. And transportation are fast, convenient, and flexible. Yes, Jenny, like Jenny have said before, transportations in Finland are really convenient and modern. Yeah, we have like really fast train. I can easily access to the next city in my city right now, Jannakala, to Hämeenlinna in just 7 minutes. It's just really fast and fascinating. Yeah. And for example, from Jannakala, which is my city, to Helsinki is only take 1 hour, which is it's like really a long, it's actually a long matka, but it's okay because the train is really fast.
I love when you speak Finnish words like matka. You didn't say distance, which is the English version, but I love that you use the Finnish language, so that's good.
Thank you so much. Finnish people are friendly with travelers and foreigners. Finnish people are actually very welcoming travelers or foreigners or students like me to coming and visiting and exploring Finland because it's really it's I feel like every time the stereotypes of Finnish people being like really quiet and introvert is actually not true when it comes to travelers because they're just so friendly. Like one time I kind of lost the way and in Helsinki and I don't know what is the train I'm going to take and I just see random Finnish people and I try to speak Finnish with them, which is they are answering with a very good English. So that's also proof that every Finnish people can speak well English, or from the big, or at least they can communicate with us in English. And lastly, travel buses are everywhere. I'm specifically talking about big city here, like hop in, hop out buses. I don't know if Johnny knows the bus in Helsinki. Every time I go to Helsinki, every time I go to Helsinki, I can see easily hop in, hop out bus everywhere in Helsinki. And you can just hop in easily, pay a decent amount of money, and you can see a breathtaking views of the city, like Helsinki, Tampere, or Turku. Yes, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, can you reload the slide, please?
Yeah. This one?
Yeah, reload it because I changed the picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. One moment. I will do it in a jiffy.
yeah, I'm so sorry.
No worries, no worries. I will do it. So this one, I guess.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yes, and I would like to talk more about Helsinki because when you first arrive to Finland, Helsinki is the first city you're gonna see and you're gonna explore. So I would like to tell more about Helsinki since it's gonna be your first city while coming to Finland. I would like to tell about my trip first time in Helsinki. So I went with my family and friends. I went with my mom's there, and I stayed in Helsinki for the first 2 weeks in Finland, and I go around exploring the city through the fast transportation services, and I cannot express the decent amount of words of talking about transportation services because in Finland the transportations are fast, both public and personal. And I lived in Airbnb. You guys can easily find your suitable Airbnb on the website, on every website, Airbnb website. And the best things is you can book Airbnb forward, like right before you go to come to Airbnb. That's what my situation are, but I recommend you guys book the Airbnb beforehand, like 2 or 3 weeks. Yes. And what I experienced in Helsinki specifically, I enjoyed diversity of food. Yes, Helsinki is a diversity culture city, as I can tell, or as in my experience. There's a lot of restaurants, buffets from different countries like Iran, Thai, or Vietnamese. Even Vietnamese, Japanese, Korean food buffets are everywhere in Helsinki. And the price is worth it. The price is really like priceable and buyable. So you easily enjoy a diversity of food, a decent amount of food with a good price in Helsinki. But I feel like more and time by time, boba shops in Helsinki is increasing. So maybe for about like 5 minutes walking, you can reach out to the nearest boba shops or bobas. I am a boba fan, so I think I tried a lot of boba shops in Helsinki, and I recommend you guys trying Kui tea. It's a really good one. And next is, okay, the significant view in Finland is White Cathedral. Every time you see or search on internet about Finland, it will probably, there's a high chance that it would, you can see the White Cathedral in Finland. And I feel like this is a must go place in Helsinki. Next is chill time. Yes, I have a lot of rentotava, which is relaxing time in Helsinki. The view, the environment, even though it's a capital city, it's not pollution at all. I feel like it's not pollution at all. The view, the sky is very clear. And this picture I took randomly from a park. I took randomly from in a Helsinki park, and I feel like it's like Wonderland land. I feel like I'm the fairy tales because the view, the weather, and the sun is perfectly placed. Yes, you can move the slide.
Yep.
Yep. And next is how to explore Finland easily. Now I would like to talk about exploring Finland in general because I just told you guys about tips going around Helsinki. So the first tips I would like to share is always check the transportation number to avoid opting or mistaking the ground bus, tram, or trains. Yes, it's happened a lot to foreigners specifically. Actually, I'm really lucky because I checked the bus's number, the train and tram number every time I went. I am about to go hop on the bus. So it does not happen to me. So I would like to share these tips, and I would like to significant point out these tips for you guys because it's really important. Or else you are accidentally go from nowhere. You'll accidentally go to like your unwanted place. And next is don't be afraid to reach out and make friends with local people. Everyone is welcomed and feeling here. Yes, as I said before, I just want to point out more, which is the stereotypes of Finnish people, which is they are introvert, they are not talkative, as we thought. Actually, the new generation of Finland is getting changed a lot because I'm a student, I'm study there. So the Finnish people, Finnish teenagers, they are friendly, they are talkative, and they are willing to understand, to listen to you, to like adapting a new culture from a new countries. So just don't be afraid and don't think about, oh, they're gonna judge me or anything. Finnish people, they don't judge. They specialize their own characters a lot. Next is you need to wave at bus drivers to make sure they don't miss you out. Oh yes, this happened a lot at first when we foreigners come into Finland. Actually, in Vietnam, every bus stops, we gonna there's people. So the bus drivers know that okay, next stop they need to stop every stop. So, but it's not happening in Finland. There is some bus stop that there are no people. So if you are the only one who in the bus stop, you need to stand out or just wave at the bus driver when the bus is coming, when the time is coming, to make sure that the bus see you and they stop for you. Yeah, it's actually happened to me a lot when I miss the bus. because I don't wave at the bus drivers. I miss that a lot, and it took a lot of time to
Yeah,
remember
it happens to me also when I'm using the bus and I'm listening in music and I'm focusing on something else. But when then I don't see the bus and make a little signal that, okay, I need to hop on board. But this is a good tip, that when you are here in our cities or where there are like bus stops and there are people there, the bus might not come unless someone clearly indicates that they want to get on board, because they are saving time. They don't have to stop, and they can just continue and be on time for the next bus stop. So definitely wave your hand, or actually the bus card, which is also a reflector, so it will shine, especially in the winter when it's dark. It will shine in the bus light so the bus driver can see you clearly. And one tip that also kind of separates, I guess, Finland in, like, for instance, Vietnam, is that
Yes.
our train doors are not automatic. They have to be, you have to press a button. So this way we save energy and we save the equipment, the door. And, there are many reasons why they are not automatic. And we have heard from our students that they don't know how to press the button, even though it's shining there like on green. They might think that it's not the door, opening the door, it's for something else. But these are the little things, practical things that we try to always remember to tell everyone, that when you come here, remember that in Finland you have to wait for the bus, you have to press for the train door to open, and stuff like you can drink directly the tap water. It's absolutely safe in Finland, like these little practical tips. So a good point about waving the bus driver.
Thank you. Yeah, I learned from that a lot.
Yeah.
And next
Yeah.
is you need to walk a lot, so prepare nice sneakers. Well, I'm a walking person, so I prepare a really like 2 nice sneakers before coming to Finland. So I actually prefer taking walking by foot than taking the bus or tram or train in the big city, because while you're walking, you can enjoying the views, because views in Finland or in Helsinki or in any city in Finland is breathtaking. Yes, every moment I can see is very.
And I think it's also important, sorry to talk over you, but
No, it's
before I
okay.
forget to say it, that Finland, like I said in the earlier slides, that Finland is safe, which means that, of course, you have to use common sense when you move around. But Finland is not like many other countries. And if you look at Google, for instance, and type "how safe is Finland" or "safety in Finland," you will quickly find out that there's like loads of pictures of like little children walking by themselves, like no grown-ups necessarily needed. Of course, everything has to use common sense, but walking alone in a city and preparing sneakers for it, that's absolutely like a realistic thing in Finland. You don't have to be afraid, and just like use your common sense, and this is all possible because we are safe. But yeah, you have the food thing. Sorry to stop again. You're talking.
It's all right. It's very good chances to like make up sharing your opinions. Yes, you need to. Yeah, it's really safe in Finland to walk to. So I really recommend it. And last but not least, I recommend you guys order food on Foodera app. Um, Foodera app is it's like Grab food in Vietnam, and the delivered is really fast. And based on my experience, that Foodera app, they have the most restaurants in the big city, so you could easily find good foods there. Jenny, do you have any experience in ordering Foodera app?
Yeah, I was just about to say, of course, that the culture of not cooking your food yourself, that's people, of course, Finns love to cook, like I love to cook, maybe that shows, but we always used to go outside to the restaurant. And ordering food, it's pretty new thing. Like in the past 5 years, there are other options, of course, to Foodora, that whatever is available in your city. And our students, when they come to Finland, they don't live in the biggest cities, because Finest Future partners mainly with smaller towns and cities like Janakkala. And they have all like different kind of food scenes, that they have different kind of restaurants, and some restaurant might be on Foodora or other apps. There are, of course, possibilities, but it's always been in Finland that you go out when you eat. And like in the Vietnam culture, the ordering food is absolutely, I think, common, much more common than in Finland. Like it's been for a very long time. And always when I'm with my team, my Vietnamese team, they might get like food delivered while we are in the meeting. So that's absolutely common there, and it's getting more and more common in Finland too. So that's like, you can of course order something super delicious unless you want to try cooking yourself, because cooking is super cool and you will save a lot of money with it. But yeah.
I would say one last thing.
Yeah, so
This is this is for travelers only, all right? So because you're going to Helsinki and you live in Airbnb, it's really hard. It's sometimes really hard to just cook by yourself or cook at your Airbnb. So this is a really good application for ordering food to your Airbnb. Yes.
Lots of things there we could discuss, like endless topics on this matter, but so that we can pique your interest, and then you hopefully have a question for us in the Q&A section. At this point, I will say thank you to Lucy, but ask Lucy to stay on if someone have questions. And Amy and Tammy will also take part in this, so that maybe we have questions. I have a new computer, so I have that excuse that I don't find the chat window. So I have to relay to Amy and Tammy on this one. Yeah. Let's enter the Q&A. I think that we are on time, actually quite a bit, like 8 minutes before, or like we're 8 minutes ahead. So if there are questions, oh, now I found the chat. Is there something?
Not really, not that many questions that we received this time in the chat box. So guys, if you have any questions about Finland, about our programs, about anything about Finest Future, so go ahead and turn your mic on, okay?
Absolutely. If you have questions, please type them in. But there is one question about Finest Future vocational students use rent house. We have student housing organizations, and there are many of them in Finland. And definitely when you start to study the Finnish language with Finest Future, so after that, what happens next is that you will apply into schools. You get the good list of our partner schools, and like I said, we have more than 100 of them in like all across Finland. And when you are applying to schools and you get accepted after a principal's interview, of course, when you get accepted, then you are able to get the student status, which means that you can then inform to any of our student housing organizations all across Finland, like in different cities, and see what options there are for your living, because there are these like student dormitories or like student centers where like many students, and then they are like, they might have housing available, or like accommodation available on some like traditional buildings which have like, of course, normal people, not just students, but everyone under the sun. So there are many options, and these things usually follow when you will have achieved, when you are able to apply into schools and get into the schools, which of course also starts your application of visa and these immigration processes which Finance Future is, of course, helping you with. Okay, there's one question that I see. Yes, does one still need proof of funds? Yes, that is for the MIGRI. MIGRI is our immigration ministry, and they require that you are able to prove that you are able to make it in Finland, so that you require like proof of funds that you have in your account, that you can pay the rent, pay food, get the hobbies and other things like that. But what we also talk a great deal to our students is that be active in finding a job, because our students can absolutely work during their studies and make a little pocket money, like do a little weekend jobs or afternoon or evening jobs. And many of our students are working, and I've heard, this is exciting news, that our student, a young student who came to Finland, already started a company. And there are like many opportunities for putting yourself forward and just finding a job, because it's also easy for companies to see what kind of potential employees there might be who are studying good studies, and they are motivated to also work during the studies. So what was there? Sports name that you have mentioned. Yeah, it's basically like disc golf or frisbee golf in Finland. So it's like golf, if you know the sports that you hit the ball with the club and hope to make hole in one. The frisbee golf is basically, they have these nets, these baskets that are usually like 18 or 9. If they can be shorter like those frisbee golf tracks in Finland, but they are everywhere, like we talked, and absolutely accessible. You don't have to pay anything to go play. You just need to have a disc, and usually you find a lot of them in the forests, because people lose them. They will throw so badly and someone else finds the disc. Like myself, I haven't bought a single one, and I must have 5 or something. I've just found them in the forest. Hey, me, there's a question about high school programs from Huen Nguyen. If you can talk a bit about that one. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Yeah.
Almost correct. So actually, I'm replying her right now by
Okay.
asking her to send an email to me, because speaking about the whole program that we're having here might take too much of a time for everyone, whilst our main content today is about traveling in Finland and Finland as a country in general.
Yeah.
So yes. If you have any more specific questions about the course, like how long it lasts, like the tuition fee, things like that, you can always pop it in the chat and I can answer that right away. But if you have like a more general, bigger kind of questions, please reach out to my emails and I'm like replying her here now.
Yeah. And one more thing to clarify, that we have Finance Future only has one product, which we teach the Finnish language or the Swedish language. So we teach the languages, but there are 2 kind of ways to do it. It's 12 months online with Fresh, or it's studying in Finland. You come to Finland after a few months of preparation, so you are in the Finland nature and understand the environment, get the language and learn that much more better or quicker. But yeah, definitely inquire about our programs. What is the right selection for you? Are there any student advisors that is available to help us on our process for international students? Definitely, and you should contact Finance Future at hello@financefuture.org, which is our, of course, official address, which immediately gets the right person to answer you. But to answer here, Finance Future helps, of course, everyone to understand that what needs to happen, what is the next step, how can you get started about realizing your education dream of your dream profession in Finland. And definitely you can contact and should contact hello@Finance Future, or like Amy puts there, Amy Dow, her address is of course there for your convenience. And you will get all the documents listed and guidance of how the process goes, because it's not a super fast process, but we have experience in these things, and we are here to help everyone arrive Finland and have the best opportunity to get the career and future that they want. But of course, part of that very much in the other end of what a student life is the one corner is of course the studies, which is important, that you have to study and you need to become you need to graduate and get a profession. But on the other end, there's the free time, and that's the topic also of this webinar, is like how easy it is to travel in Finland. And like we've told, it's pretty easy, and we have lots of help available, and there's apps in your phone like for everything. And that's a minor question, but it's good to know, like these little tips that you need to wait for the bus driver and you need to press the train door to get open it up.
Hey, Yanni, I
But
just
yeah.
remembered that I do put my information here in the slide. So maybe is in the next slide. Can you move on?
Sorry.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
here it is. So here it is, everyone. This is my emails and also my numbers. You can contact me on WhatsApp, on Zalo. Please do hesitate to call me, because maybe you live in a different time zone and might not be able to pick up. But you can always send me emails and leave me some text, and I will always get back to you. Okay. And further, in the next slide, Yanni, I also put here the QR code and also the link here, so that if you want to book an appointment, it could be either online or whoever are living in Ho Chi Minh City. This is the address to our building. So as you like use your phone, like and go through this link of this QR code, you can book an appointment with me. It could be either online and on-site in our Ho Chi Minh City office.
Absolutely good information. So I will fiddle with these 2 slides for the next 5 minutes and see if we can get more questions regarding specifically about the topic, like traveling in Finland, if you want to have direct questions.
Yes.
But I think that there is like a question which is more like generic here. Chinenie Agu asks that what is the best platform to learn the Finnish language? That is, of course,
Lucy,
with Finnish
I
Future.
see you raise your hand, right?
Oh, sorry. Lucy.
It's okay, Yanni. Yeah.
Well, it's okay. I just volunteered to answer the question. Can I?
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Oh, yes. So I recommend for you 2 websites that I recommend for studying Finnish the best. The first one is if you want to improve your reading in Finnish, you can log into the website Iltasattu. I will send the website in the chat box later, but it's basically just a website for stories, for children books, for you to improve your reading skill and your speaking skill if you can read it out loud. And the next one is the YouTube channel. The YouTuber channel is Finnish with Shane. He's really famous in teaching Finnish grammar. Yes, you can learn a lot from him about Finnish grammar, because it is one of the hard things in while studying Finnish for me. Yeah, right now I will send you the link and the YouTube channel. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lucy.
You're welcome.
Also, if you talk about the platform, the best, of course, is our program and our teachers who will teach you. But the platform to support these things, there are like Iltasatu, which is like bedtime stories, which are very easy, but also get you into our languages. But then there's always this one, Earthlingo. If you go to earthlingo.io, it is our language game. And you can download the game into your phone, and you can learn words. You can play the game, and in the game you will fight with evil robots and use vocabulary and words in the battle. So you can study and have fun at the same time. So that is the best kind of learning, which actually gets you involved in using the words. And then there are like not just the battles, there are activities that actually teach you the words. For instance, there is a restaurant and you will get different kind of food going in this automated belt, and you have to know what someone wants to order. If they say, anna mulle pirtelö, that might mean that give me a milkshake. So these are quite good ways to support your learning of the Finnish language, because we of course have our main program, the teachers teaching you. We have support program, so you find more support there. But there are many other things that you can do, like Earthlingo. Definitely check Earthlingo out. That is absolutely an amazing game, and it's getting better and better and better, like all the time. And everyone has access to Earthlingo. It's free. And if you want to study even more, you can, of course, get access to the premium version, and all our Finance Future students will get the premium version access, which means that they can study full sentences, not just words, but full sentences, so that you are in a more advanced level, and then you can comfortably formulate big sentences and questions and not just words. So it's absolutely good stuff. Yes, Heimi already answered, but there was a question about, does Finnish Future help students for applying process in vocational schools? Absolutely. Usually, the way it usually goes is that Finnish Future doesn't have anything to say, like who gets into what school. The schools decide who will get in. But there is this thing that I didn't tell you before, is that one of the reasons that why Finnish Future exists is we are saving Finland. And that means that we are saving Finland by getting more people into Finland. And that is because we are running out of Finns. There are so few of us. So we need more people. We need amazing students here. But we can only tell you what kind of schools there are available. You will then, the student then makes a list of what is good and what seems to suit her hobbies, for instance, support her athletic interests or whatever. We have those informations available, and we can help, but we don't have anything to say how the school decides the student. That is all up to the school and the students themselves to like prove to the principal that they want to study and they are motivated and they can have a successful career and life, Finnish Future in Finland. So that is essentially what we are all about. Is there anything more?
Yeah. I have a little word to say. All right, new students are so lucky because Finance Future students like me, we don't have any premium access to those websites. So apply to Finance Future program. You'll get a premium one. Wow.
Yeah, that's even like getting started to learn the language. That's the first step towards your own dream. And when we think about, everyone has seen the American movies and TV series like all the time in the TV, and they are hear about the American dream. But we also can read the news that maybe the American dream isn't that be better, because the American dream is actually reality in Finland. Like I showed you the slide in the beginning, which has this safety, equality, education values that we promote and support in Finland. So definitely we are not well known. Finland is a small town, but we are getting started. Small town, small country, I meant, of course. So we are getting started, and we will get more and more students into our programs, and you could be one of them. If you dream about having a job, having your own future, finding new friends, having an international career and stuff like that. It's like little dreams and big dreams with little steps with Finance Future. So essentially that is what we are doing, and Finland needs you. That is the fact. But I guess we are running out of questions, so I will also put a general email address here. If you have something that you want to discuss, email at hello@financefuture also. But if it's more specific, you can definitely contact Amy. She will take care of you and tell you all the answers, like what is troubling you, and guide you towards the solution that might be for the right one for you. And also, we have agencies in different countries, and if you are from a country that we have an agency in, we can of course guide you to that agency too. But you just have to make the first step, get in contact, and we can see what could be your solution to come into Finland. Okie doke. I guess that was our topic. It was a very precise topic this time, not a general one. You have to look at our earlier webinars because there are many interesting topics, but this was so specific. So hopefully more and more people will find the recording in our social media. And thank you, of course, Lucy and Amy and Tammy joining the Finance Future team for the webinar. And everyone, have a great afternoon, morning, hopefully not midnight, or if you are staying up, you should go to bed and study. Thank you, everyone.
Yes,
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you, Yanni.
I do
Thank
see
you,
one
everyone.
question in the chat box. So
Oh.
yes, we do have an agency in Africa. So please email to me, and then I will guide you and like forward your information over to our agency in Africa so that he can support you better in those like visa consulting things.
Yes. Very good.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
everyone.
your
Take care, everyone.
Thank you for
See you next time.
participating.